Joe Lacob was in the studio today with the Morning Roast, the owner of the Golden State Warriors, and he was here for a good hour talking to Bonte and Shasky and hitting all the big topics. And to me, there's two issues. One is, how's the team? Obviously, the team on the court. How are they going to be? Are they going to be any good? But the other issue is Klay Thompson's contract, and to a lesser degree, I think Steve Kerr's contract. Here is what Joe Lacob said. First of all, here's what he said about the end of last season for Klay Thompson. And you know what? Maybe you don't want to. Maybe Klay didn't have a lot of leverage. Listen to the way Joe Lacob described his end of season.
You know, obviously the end was not good. I was not happy. He was not happy. Right. I mean, it was embarrassing, actually, for him, and not only him, some other players too. So it happened, and who knows why these things happen. You know, it's very hard to repeat,
right,
is the truth. We did it in 17, those 2 years, but it's very hard to repeat. Things happen. But, here's the good news. Good news is there's a lot more motivation going into this year. And I think we're very capable of having a great year this year and winning this thing.
He is. I missed that part.
No, I remember. I noted that. I noted that.
Wow.
What was the wow? What's the biggest wow for you there?
It wasn't just Klay, but it was Klay was playing below the average or the barometer that he knows Klay for. He didn't say no names after that, but he said it was embarrassing. That's like me saying, Joe, I don't like how I'm looking weight-wise. Yeah, Guru, you're fat. That's how he went there, like it was that bad. Man, he did not bite his tongue. And maybe that has something to do with the reluctance on the chicken re-up.
Maybe Klay was like, I don't want to even negotiate a contract now because after last year, I got no juice.
Man. Leverage, you mean?
Exactly. That's exactly it. 888-957-9570. Steiny and Guru with you on 95.7 The Game. You want to jump into this conversation? Lines are always open, 888-957-9570. All right, Joe Lacob, how are we doing with the Klay Thompson contract situation? We got to get something done? Yes, no, maybe?
Well, I hope it's not a distraction. I mean, we're not in control of this. I mean, there's two sides to every negotiation. We want him back. He wants to be back. It's kind of like Draymond.
Right.
I think everyone needs to just chill a little bit. Let this take its course. My guess is it works out. Okay? I can't control it. I can't dictate it. You can't dictate it.
Right.
Fans can't dictate it. These things have to take their course. There's different parties involved, but the intentions are really good.
The Draymond situation was different because he had an opt-in and he could opt out if he chose to.
True.
But do you look back at how that went and learn any lesson from that? Was it good, bad, indifferent? Was it just business? Like, did that have any tangible effect on the season last year, you think? Oh,
it might have, but I think there were some issues last year with respect to some of the contracts. Some of the other guys got contracts I know you're referring to. Maybe it did. I don't think there's going to be anything like that this year, though. Yeah. I really don't. Klay's a professional. Respect him tremendously. And we're going to do our best to get this done. And, hopefully it is done sooner rather than later, but it might not be.
It might not be. Now, what do you hear when you hear that, Warrior fans?
When I hear him say it's in other people's hands, I'm like, no, Joe, it's in yours and Klay Thompson. Whoever's working for Klay, they do what Klay tells them. They advise Klay, but if it's meant to be, like I'm in this dream world of it, he wants to be here, you want him here, then it should be closer than I'm not in control of it. The Janet Jackson. So maybe it'll play out and he'll be here, Steiny. But and the soundbite before that bite is the one that has me like Klay didn't play great in the playoffs. We all know that. But, man, who took a note? The guy that matters the most, Joe Lacob. And to use the word embarrassing, now it's almost like what I said to you. You think this is a tryout? In a crazy way, it's like Lacob is about his cash, Steiny, and his chicken. He wants to see how Klay's going to follow that up. if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
And I could be totally wrong.
No, I'm coming
Oh,
around.
boy.
I'm coming around to that's what's going on. This is kind of what I believe. You tell me if you're with me or not. So Klay was terrible in the playoffs. But he wants an extension. But Joe Lacob is a businessman. If you're Joe Lacob and Klay just had the year he had, I think I'm trying to get Klay Thompson for $28 million.
See,
because he did not have a great year, and I don't like some of the signs. And I totally get why Joe Lacob might be like about 28-30 right now. And while Klay Thompson might be like, I'm not taking that. I have a better year in me this upcoming season. And you know what? I'm going to play it out, and I'm going to turn myself back in to a $38 million player. That's what I think's going on.
And you know what that all equates to? Is he's rolling the dice. Because
which guy?
Klay. Because if it goes the other way and you're okay, then we got problems. But I can't speak on any athlete's money or contract, but Steiny, I just don't think.
Yeah,
I can't believe Klay wouldn't be like, you know what? I've made so much in my career as a Warrior. They gave me the chicken when I was out.
Okay.
28 will suffice. Meet me at third, 2 for 60. Like that. I can't believe, and who am I? I'm not an athlete, but Klay, you think you still want 40? Like that? That's where I'm like, that's what's holding all this up. And it sounds like Lacob is like, damn, not a hometown discount, but Klay, you really want Jaylen Brown money?
I don't think well, that's preposterous. That's preposterous. But
like 28 is not an insult in my world. And I thought Klay would be like,
I bet it is to Klay.
Meet me at the Steph Curry.
That's a $15 million pay cut.
Right, but how much did you lose from a body pay cut when you had these 2 injuries that we paid you through?
Well, every contract in the NBA is guaranteed. So I don't think Klay looks at it as wow, they did me a favor by paying me 2 years when I didn't play. And I also this is where I'm on Klay's side. It's not like he was Jimmy jacking around for 2 years. He was rehabbing to get back into the NBA. Like he worked. He might have worked harder those 2 years. The one thing I do understand, I think, is Klay. And if I'm Klay, do you have any doubt Klay believes he can be better than he's been the last 2 years?
There's no doubt.
Well, then why would he
mind.
sign a contract extension now?
And there you go.
Because
I don't feel like Joe wants to pay for what he saw last.
Thank you. I don't like. Maybe Joe right now thinks 30 is too much for 3 years. Like let's 30, 30, and 30.
But now I'm starting to get the vibes that if Klay just has a so-so year and, maybe subpar to his standards, Joe ain't right giving you that chicken.
No.
He ain't thinking like I am. Oh, it's Klay Thompson. He's been here. That could have Klay in another uniform, and that's what I feel like we're staring at now. Like this is not a tryout, Steiny, but these results, Klay's metrics and his numbers and his percentages are going to go a long way in this negotiation, good or bad.
Exactly. He's betting on himself.